a.m. Central Standard Time, November 28, 2023. I had a little bit of that subtle negative grapevine. Probably was a few minutes ago that it's rearing its head. It's very subtle, but it's there. I don't know who it is. All I know is there's someone in my business. It's not my family members. It might be someone posing as family members. They would never put my family members in. Look at this. I don't know who you are. You're getting on here. I don't know who's trying to call me. I keep getting all these. Who's calling? Please take me off your call list. Who's calling? Name your business. Give me your return home phone number so I can call you back. And take me off your list as if I've asked you to do so often. Look, now there's a New Jersey number calling through. That's what I used to get. That's why I don't even look at this phone hardly, except use it for a time log. Who's calling? Who's calling? Take me off your list. I have to deal with that all the time. That's why. 9:33 now. Anyway, someone please check out who's behind the scenes, because I have a right to know how someone forged their way into my business. I have evidence of documents they altered and forged of what I do know about that was wrong, and other people have since admitted it was wrong, but no one does anything about it since 2016. But however they got in there originally, when I find out, somebody's in huge amounts of trouble, because they are very far at my rear end using my identity and my private information throughout the grapevine. It might be hard to prove a coincidence, but the dates and times they were using my children to abuse me and say stuff from them, the stuff that heated back up again, it had briefly paused from how bad it was in 2011 through February 5th, 2012, on that was Super Bowl of 2012. And that month it was off and on. There were some really strange things that kept happening to me and the things that people were saying around me. But then it kind of subsided. It wasn't nearly as bad, though it was still something was obviously going on. May 2014, if you check your records and you know there's someone in my business, official people that hopefully has some system of checks and balances on them, that's when you're going to find that gradually came back in. By 2015, especially the dates and times I have painted on my front door, September 25th, 2015 after school, off and on, there's a few times that were a lot worse than others. And if they don't have records of me venting about it, yeah, I'm venting like a mother, but I'm not the one that's actually harming anybody, and I'm asking someone to check them out, because I know some of the coincidences may be actual coincidences that fall in between the cracks, but not all of it is. And most importantly, I've had partial acknowledgments from people that it's actually officially something happening, and nothing done about it or documentation on the stuff that must have been the original entry into whatever got my business. And if it's my friend that drove the similar vehicle to me, that drove a Tempo, only mine had a tail fin, but those boys that rode around with us that night probably only remembered my house because it was a prominent location on Main Street. And she admits that she probably did do stuff with them, but she said the accident I heard about was a different night with a 14-year-old girl. But at that point, I know she wouldn't tell me the truth. You know, I can't trust her. She's a fun girl, but I couldn't trust her. That's why we were more like just classmates. We hadn't been like friends since off and on, really, even going back to elementary school. But, you know, it's funny that I was arrested the first time I tried to call her and ask her about it on December 3rd, 2017. And the other times that are on there aren't on the record. The dates and times on things are changed. It's just like one thing after another that someone has done everything they can to keep me quiet. Right now, I've got my own self basically isolated. COVID wasn't a big deal to me because I'm away from people all the time. Because not only am I a loner for the most part, what they've done to me makes me not want to socialize. The bit of socialization that I was able to do before, it becomes excruciating when these things happen and having people acknowledge shit but not what to do about it. I mean, that's a very real thing I have to deal with and know what's happening. It's not right. I have a right to know at least some part of it. I'm sure it could be told to me. Whatever my first ex-husband admitted to lying about, both times he went to jail shortly afterward. As far as I know, he's still locked up. I don't know. You know, the things that people were admitting before, some of the people that I did trust that did admit stuff have since not wanted to talk about it anymore, so someone must be threatening them if they tell me. So what do I do with that? The other girl that told me it is happening, she said someone else was using her nursing license number, but she also was talking about the surveillance and how social services was getting dirt on families, tricking them into stuff, and then turning them against each other. And I believe her on that, because that seems to be, at least in part, probably what the parts I do know about that happened had to be, because people have admitted lying. And nobody cares.